Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Today is June 8th. Hopefully y'all are having a good week so far. We're almost coming to a close. QQQ ended up selling off quite a bit yesterday. So we had our proper rotation out of the big tech names that have been doing so hot year to date and into the Russell 2000 mostly, which was up, I think, 1.5%, whereas the Qs was down like 1.3%. So we're actually seeing a reversal of that so far this morning with the Russell 2000 currently down by 0.4% versus the NASDAQ top 100 currently up by 0.1%. So might be short-lived, but we did have a start to it yesterday. QQQ is currently trading below $350 at $349.45. I did end up closing some put debit spreads yesterday since we were just trading between $349 and $350 for the most part at the close yesterday. So I ended up taking some profits on some puts. I still have NVIDIA and Microsoft puts. But let's see, NVIDIA is currently trading about $3 higher than it was, about 0.81% almost maybe. And then Microsoft is currently up like 60 cents. So neither of them up a ton, but given their decent sell-off yesterday, it wouldn't be too shocking to see some sort of recovery for these couple of names. I think Microsoft was down like 3% plus yesterday, so huge sell-off on Microsoft, which could end up reversing a bit. And then I think the only big tech name that's bullish as of right now would be Tesla. And it's kind of iffy given that we've traded pretty flat the last 2 trading days, but I think this one has the most potential to go up versus any of the others just based on price. What we were seeing in price action, all the other names flatlined before Tesla did, and Tesla just now starting to see that flatline. How's the NASDAQ 100 looking? It's barely up this morning. Actually, just came back to break even, plus 0.04% as of right now. We did get some econ news. We got the jobless claims coming in hotter than expected at 261,000 job losses this week versus 235,000 expected and up from 233,000 last week. But the continuing jobless claims didn't reflect that. It actually came in better than expected at only 1.757 total unemployed people versus 1.8 million expected, and this is down from 1.794 million as of last week. So about a 40,000 drop in the total number of unemployed people, but the people that just applied for unemployment this week is up by 30,000. We did see the latest jobs report coming in at 3.7%, which was an uptick from 3.4%, and I still think that the unemployment rate is likely to continue to tick up in the coming months. Just looking at the jobless claims, I think it could get close to like 4%, 3.8, 3.9 in the coming months would be plausible. But yeah, that's what's going on this morning. We do see the dollar down at the moment thanks to the unemployment report. Ended up going from 103.80, which was a support level, down to 103.60 as of right now, which could prove as a headwind for QQQ going up. But there is a lot of puts that have been bought for Friday's expiration at the 350 strike price. So right now the market makers are going to have to hedge to the downside and sell off their shares. Next important price levels would be 345 for tomorrow, and then 352 to the upside based on where the open interest is for the calls is 352. There's like 10,000 calls there, or like 13,000, and then I think there's 25,000 or so puts with a 345 strike price. My guess would probably just trade somewhere in that range today, and then maybe we see a breakout to one direction or the other tomorrow. Looks like AMD is catching a little bit of a rally first thing on the jump. We've got a few names in the green in the big tech space. Amazon and Nvidia, the top gainers, up 1% and up 0.5%. But Nvidia, they ended up losing the 385 level yesterday, then the 380 level, and now it's trading at 376. So very heavily skewed to the bears as of right now. And then Microsoft's up by 0.5%. Like this one was down 3% yesterday, so it's not too shocking to see it gaining a little bit of upside here. I totally forgot my phone. I'll be right back. There we go. Yeah, so Microsoft's just kind of chilling out here. Probably Nvidia the same thing. Oh, wow. AMD is just going back and forth this morning. It went to 119 and then sold off right from that down to 117.50. Probably the same action on Nvidia, I would imagine. And QQQ is just kind of trading flat here. First 5 minutes, not really moving. Tried to go to the upside at 350 and ended up getting rejected right instantly. So yeah, my best guess today, probably not going to move much of anywhere. There's not a lot of open interest for today's expiration anyway, so I don't know if the market maker is going to be too enticed to send us one direction or the other. So I think we're just going to be between 345, 352 on Qs today. So an iron condor would probably be your best fit. Right now it's paying 24-cent credit, which is pretty low for an iron condor. Usually you want to get like 30 plus at least. It's actually reducing the credit as we're going up here too. All right. I'm going to try to snag them at like 22 cents at least to pop. Looks like we're having AMD crash in here below the trend line that I set for the hourly chart. I would imagine that means Nvidia's pulling back. Microsoft is still up above 324 as of right now, so that's still pretty good to keep the NASDAQ up. I might end up hedging with a 345, 346 put debit spread for this iron condor just in case things do a turnaround. And the credit's down to 20 cents. Hard to take the trade at 20 cents. I really wanted like 23, but we could just open the 345 puts instead for right now. and then open the iron condor later on. Once it's paying a better credit. Either that or we just take the low 20-cent credit. All right. Trying to open it at 22. Order's not getting filled yet. All right. There we are, filled at 22. For an iron condor expiring today. New options alert. Premium just opened a new 344, 345, and 352, 353. QQQ iron condor expiring today. 5/8 at 22. Good morning. Take a look at Tesla. Yes, will do. Tesla, again, I think is the only bullish big name as of right now, just based on the hourly chart. It's the only one that hasn't lost its momentum yet versus other names. If you're looking at Nvidia, this has lost its upward trajectory. Microsoft ended up losing its upward trajectory yesterday. Apple losing it after WWDC. Google, I guess this one was only yesterday that it ended up losing it, but it really wasn't going up like super fast considering the highs from May 30th. It never really like broke out above those highs too much, so there wasn't a lot of momentum going into Google, and then Meta was just trading flat for 1, 2, 3, 4 trading days. So basically all the big tech names besides Tesla have lost momentum. Tesla's the only one that still has it. It's still above 50 RSI for the hourly chart, and if you're looking at everything else, Amazon might have it. It's at 51 on the RSI. It's up by 1.8% today. So this one and Tesla, I think, would be the two gainers today, just based on the momentum on the hourly chart. It looks like the chips are trying to gain momentum, but AMD's failing here. And looking more to the downside. Sorry, choking on water right now. Jesus. But yeah, chips headed to the downside with AMD. Nvidia just went down to 376s. But we're not really getting much of a move out of Nvidia just yet. It's just kind of trading back and forth in a range as of right now. Not too shocking given that it sold off as much as it did yesterday. Damn, they're paying 24 cents on the Iron Condor now, so I could have got a better price on that. Just above 350 for right now. Still doubtful on us getting to 352, but we do see some upside right now. We're at 70 on the RSI, so it's a little bit more bullish. After yesterday's huge sell-off on Qs, it was down 1.3%. Now it's up 0.4%, so getting some of that back. IWM is still in the red, down 0.3%, so you're seeing about the same amount of percentages in IWM being down and QQQ being up today. So the rotation from big tech into small caps sort of reversing. Given that we are at 70 on the RSI, kind of looks like momentum would be bullish today. But that 352 mark, there's a lot of open interest in calls there. So either they're going to not let those people cash out, or if it does end up going above 352, you might end up actually squeezing back up to something like 355 would be the next important price level for this Friday's expiration. We're seeing NVIDIA retest 380 here, 380.25 right now. And Microsoft, let's see, still at 324, so not really changed this morning so far. Yeah, so Q's just kind of chilling at 350 for right now. You're seeing Microsoft pulling back below 324. So we had some momentum going at 70 on RSI, but now it's back to 60. So if you want to see very hot momentum today, you would want this to stay above 60 on the RSI. Let's check the open interest today. I don't think that there's a lot of open interest in the Qs today. Yesterday there was tens of thousands of puts. But today I think like the most is like a 5,000 or something like that. Let's see. For today's expiration, you have 7,500, 350 calls, 352 calls. You have 8,700 of those. 355, you have 8,000. So not really as much open interest as yesterday. And then for the puts, you're looking at open interest of 7,400 puts for the 350s. Let's see where else we got. 7,300 for the 348s. And the 347s would be the next 5,000. So not really much open interest besides 348, 352, and then obviously that 350 number. Yeah, SPY would be something to watch today, especially with yesterday's gainers being today's losers. The Dow Jones down 0.1% and IWM down 0.8% this morning. That would cause for a little bit of a pullback in SPY. You might see a rise, small rise in the VIX, currently at 1410. But yeah, it does seem like there is actually more call option action today. At 352 with 9,000 options almost at that strike price. And I don't think that we have nearly as much puts. The next biggest put open interest is 7,300. So about 2,000 less puts than calls for the next price level, between 352 at the top and 348 at the bottom. Strangely bullish today. I would say it's just mostly neutral. I mean, the best thing you have for the Qs is like 0.25%. Nvidia's up 1.2% after it fell, I think over 2% yesterday it started at 395 and went all the way down to 393. So that's 20 points that it ended up losing there. For a $400 stock, that's like 5% that it lost throughout the day. So really all you're seeing is a small rebound in the big names that got sold off. Seeing SPY going in the red. Do I think it'll end red or green? Let's see. SPY. It's only down 0.1%, so it's not really changed much. Hard to call since it's only 0.1%. Given that the Russell 2000 is pulling back and the Dow is... actually, the Dow is flat. I think it would actually be a bit more bullish if the Dow is flat and you have the Qs up slightly today. So it might end up marginally in the green for SPY. Nvidia has a healthy pullback. Bottom of the range is 350s. There's some important price levels at 377 to 378. I think that's like the lowest point that it went post earnings. Let's see, for this low it was actually 366, so that is lower. But before that it was like 370, or after that, sorry, was 378. That's kind of where it's bounced before. So we could have some supports down here, 377, 378. Right now it's at 379, so it's not too far off of it. I might just end up finding a balance today at those levels. But yeah, everything's just kind of chill morning so far. Haven't had anything too crazy happen. Google is getting kind of hammered here, down to 122.25. New low for the morning, and a pretty heavy sell-off from 129.55 yesterday. I think this one was down like 3 or 4%. I think it was actually down the worst, like 4%. So very bad sell-off on Google. Even more than Microsoft, which was down 3% yesterday. Carvana is up 24% today. Did they have earnings? No earnings. Just, let's see. Carvana stock jumps on improved second quarter outlook. So I guess they gave a new outlook for the quarter. Now anticipates to achieve second quarter adjusted EBITDA or earnings of over 50 million. So they expect EBITDA to actually be positive, which is what they said in their latest earnings report too. But now they have an actual number to it, which is sending them up today 20%. All right, Nvidia's back above 380, so this one's actually starting to move to the upside. It's not really having much impact on the Qs though. The Qs is still at 349.30. I'm going to be watching for this 348 price level, and then I might end up taking a put debit spread if it starts to head down there. Again, looking at the open interest for the options chain today at the 348 put strike, There's 7,300 in open interest, 7,400 in open interest. So that's the next level that they're going to start to kind of go ham at. Yesterday it ended up going to 348, but then it ended up kind of bouncing on that last 30 minutes or so for the market. So if we go below it today, my guess is we might get close to the 345 price level for Friday's expiration. IWM completely taking back yesterday's gains. Damn. Yeah. That's IWM for you. Welcome to the casino. Yesterday there was a ton of calls being bought on it, so that just ended up perpetuating it up, and now I'm sure there's a bunch of puts getting bought, sending it down. Yeah, only gainer today is Nvidia. Tesla is trying to head higher here. All right, looks like we bounced at the 50 RSI. So this is a start to a trend. This would be bullish. And the next price level to look out for the upside is 352 today. Mostly being led by Nvidia right now, up 2.15%. I'm going to start looking into the 350 or 351 calls on Qs today. Let's see, this is not TQQ. There we go. Today's expiration. The 350 calls are going for 112. If we do end up going to 352 today, it would be about double in price. That's the puts. Looking at the calls. Trading at 118 right now. The lowest that they went was 79. Just looking neutral but slightly bullish here. You got a higher low, not a higher high as of yet. You'd have to go above 350.5 to get a higher high. There's a lot of open interest at 350 that's just going back and forth at. Yeah, we're not getting significantly above 350 or significantly below it. So 350 could just be our line in the sand today where we just trade back and forth. It's trying to be bullish, but it's not enough momentum carrying it. It seems like anytime Nvidia's trying to pop, it ends up pulling back, but definitely looks like a bullish setup on Nvidia if you want to go long today. I would say that would be your name. Tesla as well. But QQQ just kind of not doing much with all the calls and puts at 350. All right, this could be our pop higher on the Qs. Led by Tesla and Nvidia. Microsoft improving to 325 from 324 too. So if you see yesterday's losers, Microsoft and Nvidia, being today's gainers, then you could get a decent rally in Qs, I would say. All right, we're up to 351 for Qs. It's a pretty solid footing now at 350, I would think. That'll be your support. I'm looking to open a 350, 349, put credit spread. It's paying 27 cents if I get rid of my 345, 344s and roll it. Looks like we peaked at 351, but still very bullish at 65 for RSI, so wouldn't be willing to bet against the upside today. Let's see, SPY's up 0.07%, Dow's up 0.08%, and Q's up 0.5% almost, 0.48 as of right now. And the Russell is down 0.9%. So basically all of what we saw yesterday has been reversed for IWM. Obviously not for QQQ. There's still a long way to get back to 357 was yesterday's high. Yeah, Tesla's still bullish here. So you have between Tesla and Nvidia, I would be more bullish on Tesla for today. Next big price level would be 230. That's where we got rejected on the second leg down. There's a huge drop in volume on Qs when it went down to 349. Very low volume at 950. Looks like Microsoft's trying to make a comeback too. 70 on the RSI. Above the morning highs at 325.25. Just barely there. But yeah, very boring start to the morning, I would say. That's all we got. Trying to go up, not really doing it too speedy. Went to 351, now to 350.4 for Q. So my guess for today is Q is just going to be trading range bound. So my iron condor will probably end up paying out pretty well. And I chose between 345 and 352, so decent range on it. We are closer to the top of the range, which does concern me a bit, but let's see, 345, 352. The average 697 over 2 would be 348.50. Will be ideal to close that. I don't know if we'll get down to 348 again. We could, but $2 drop in Qs. It's pretty hard to manage these days, unless it's something like yesterday where there's just a bunch of puts becoming in the money. Today there's not really that much, so not expecting anything big for the market. Yeah, Tesla's still the gainer today. 228.50 almost. 73 on the RSI. If we do actually the 227.50 call, and Tesla's cheap enough to where you don't really need to do a spread. But if you do 227, 230 call debit spread on Tesla, it's costing 125 to make 125. You could go with the 227.50 call, which will have a 56 delta. So for every 400 you spend, you get 56 over 385 would be about 14% return on every dollar that it goes up. So if it does end up managing to say 230.5 up another $2, you could get about a 30% return on it if this bullish momentum continues here. We're slowly inching higher on Qs. New morning high at 350.103 versus previous at 350.98. But the slow inch higher doesn't convince me, considering we're at 70 RSI. So likely just a pullback to 50, 60 RSI before the next rally if it does. I wish that I had set my iron condor at the middle of the range at 350. That would have been better. Or like an iron butterfly would have been good too. How long into the trading day does SPY often take to form a range, and are there any pre-market indicators? Usually it's after, I would say, like 45 minutes to an hour of trading, you'll get a trend. Sometimes it can reverse in the afternoon. If there's any kind of news especially, that'll reverse sentiment, which reverses a trend. But yesterday it started to set the bearish trend after 10:30, so after about an hour of trading. The day before that, there wasn't really a trend going on. You just saw it go above 50 RSI for a while, then it went below 50 and then ended up above. So there wasn't a prolonged trend there. But usually after the first hour of trading, you can get a good sense of where the markets are headed for the day. And then usually the midday turnaround, if there is any, is between like 1 and 2 p.m., I think. Amazon is up by 2.6%. Tesla's still up 1.8%. Small pullback in Tesla right now. I would probably want to see 60 RSI before I went long on Tesla. That's where it ended up bouncing before, so that would be a better entry than getting it at 72 on the RSI. A cheaper entry as well. Last it was at 60 RSI was at 227 roundabout, which is about $1.50 lower than it's trading right now. So far on Qs, we have 2 higher lows, 2 higher highs. So the trend is starting to be bullish. It's at 64 for RSI. So if you want it extremely bullish, you want it to stay above 60. Bullish to neutral would be above 50. And Tesla did not pull back to 60 on the RSI, so no entry for that call there. Everything's kind of bullish today. The Dow Jones even is going up 0.2%. Q's up 0.6%, and SPY is up 0.2%. SPY ended up dipping in the morning, but ended up rebounding all of that V-shaped recovery. Dow Jones, there's not really a lot of volume on that, but bullish trend above 50 on the RSI. And QQQ, kind of the same setup, bullish trend above 50 RSI. All right, there's 351 and above for Q, so ended up bouncing at about 62 RSI. So this one could be starting an uptrend. It's just very, very slow. Wouldn't expect it to accelerate until we're above 352. Back to 60 on the RSI. So if you're expecting a huge rally for QQQ today, I'd probably get a 352 call at 60 on the RSI. My guess, though, with NVIDIA just kind of trading flat around 380 and Microsoft trading flat at 325, until you get one of those to break out, it's probably going to be a flat day on Qs. Yeah, every time we're getting close to 351, it's getting rejected here. The 351 calls are going for 97 cents right now. Which is the highest that they've been today. Actually, 112 is the highest that they've been today. You're going to have some supports with the higher lows at 350.5, which sets these contracts at 87 cents. So that would be a stop loss at 80 cents or 85 cents. Five-minute options contracts. Do you purchase same day? Yes. If I'm looking at the 5-minute chart, I'm usually using same day expirations, 0-day expirations. All right, looking to buy QQQ 351 call expiring today 6/8. Could be a little bit too late to the party. Going for 115 now. Again, my stop loss would be about 85 cents. Which is 25 cents lower. The cheaper I can get it, the better. To save the stop loss. Seeing Nvidia perking back up above 380. Microsoft above 325. So both of these names being as green as they are after yesterday's sell-off on them is helping the Qs. All right, they've got these down to 97 cents now. RSI is 67 for Qs. I would like to get it at 60, but I think that would probably put these at the stop loss. Let's see. Yeah, roughly at 85 cents. But it seems like Microsoft can't hang with 325. Nvidia's not making a new high yet either. So just very slow bullish price action on Qs. The main show is Tesla today at 229, up 2%, 2.2, almost at that yesterday's high at 230.83. We're just right at 351. I don't know why there's so much resistance at 351. It's going barely above and then coming back. Let's see the options chain. I don't think there's that much open interest at 351 to cause any sort of hesitation. Let's see, there's 4,800 calls and 5,200 puts, 5,200 puts. So there's not really much open interest to force us significantly above or below. It's just kind of trading flat there. All right, they've got those calls down to 93. So this could provide us a good entry. But, well, now it's Microsoft pulling back to 325.50 or 324.50, down 50 cents, and Nvidia down to 381 still. Nvidia's really not moving much at all between 380 and 382. Now the Q puts, or Q calls, 351s are going for 85, so that's at my stop loss. So I probably won't enter here. Could lower the stop loss. Next price level would be these lows, which puts these contracts at 80 cents, but it's basically already there, so. And if we do end up going below 350.4 with this candle, that would be a bearish engulfing candle. Still have about 30 seconds for that to play out, but not sure if that's enough time to send us down 40 cents. Welcome, Mitch. Low volume on this move up, maybe a pullback coming soon. Yeah, the volume is definitely slowing down. I wouldn't think that means a pullback though. Probably just trade flat around 351. Probably just gonna burn time on the low volume instead. You are seeing a half decent pullback in Microsoft. Nvidia, not yet. Still kind of forming a bullish trend here. The left side of a cup and handle, so if it does end up reaching back up to say 382, that would be bullish. Tesla's almost 230 here, up 2.3%. So yeah, getting those contracts on my stop loss would have been a better strategy. Again, that 60 RSI was your support. It hit 64 and then went back up. It's a pretty strong bullish trend to the Qs today on low volume. Microsoft back to 325 again, so yeah, that would be more bullish on Qs. Currently trading at 351.40, so finally breaking above that 351 level that I kept getting rejected by. And then I think if we go above 352, you'll have a flood of buyers there based on where the open interest is on calls expiring today. You might manage to get back up to 355 today if that happens. Super close to 352 here. This candle went from 85 to 120. So if you expect us to go above that 352 level, I would probably open these at like 120 to 130. Set your stop loss at 105 or so. Damn, they're jacking these calls up. 140 now, almost. Microsoft is gaining a lot to 326 now, so that's what's leading us. On top of Tesla being at 230 plus. Could even buy tomorrow's 352 calls too. They're going for 160. It's not really much of a price difference. And if you can ride those up to 355, if we get a squeeze today, those would go for $3 a piece. So that could be a better option today. Let's change the details here. 09, 352s. Again, they're going for about 160. Going from 126 to 160 in the past 10 minutes. What time frame am I looking at? RSI. This is the 5-minute chart I'm looking at here. Did not enter. Looking to buy QQQ 352 call. Expiring tomorrow 6/9. We're going for 160 right now. Ideally, I can buy these for 150 or so. But right now, finding ourselves at resistance at 352. So the market makers might not want to cash out those 352 calls that everybody's buying today. But you do have momentum going for the bulls, leading me to think that we could be above 352. All right, I think I'm just going to have to buy these at 160. Pay a little bit extra for them. No, they're down to 156. Okay. All right, looks like I got 2 of those at 157. New options alert, premium, just bought QQQ 352, call expiring tomorrow, the 9th at 157. But yeah, it looks like we're having a hard time passing up 352 for right now. And then if we do, I think we could squeeze to 355. So 352 is your next price level to look at, 355 above that for tomorrow's expiration. And then if we don't end up managing to 352, I think we could just be 350 by the end of the day and just trade this range between like 349, 352. So yeah, that's all the trades for today. I got the Iron Condor assuming between 352 and 345, and then the calls for tomorrow's expiration assuming above 352. So we'll see how that plays out. Got hedges, which should help us make some profits either way. But yeah, that's it for today, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow at 9:30. See you, everybody.